I hope you've enjoyed discovering landforms around the area that we live in and maybe in books and magazines that you have. By now, you've probably been reinforcing lots of the landforms you already knew, like mountain and hill and river and lake. And now we have a better definition for what they are. And maybe you've discovered some new ones too. So you may have known island, but now you have learned words like archipelago. So let me see if I can find ours in our book. Here it is. There's our archipelago. And an archipelago is a group of islands clustered together in an open expanse of sea or ocean. The Philippine Islands are a large archipelago. I want to read you guys a book about an island. We'll have to decide if we think this island is part of an archipelago or if it is all by itself. So already we can see that it's a piece of land surrounded by ocean. The Little Island by Golden MacDonald. There was a little island in the ocean. Around it, the winds blew and the birds flew, and the tides rose and fell on the shore. It's a very tiny island. What's it made up out of? Yeah, I see rock. Clouds passed over it, fish swam around it, and the fog came in from the sea and hid the little island in a soft, wet shadow. The morning was very quiet on the island, with only the spiders sailing their webs against the gentle wind. Small flowers, white and blue, and violets with golden eyes, and little waxy white-pink chuckleberry blossoms, and one tickly smelling pear tree bloomed on the island, and that was the spring. Then one day all the lobsters crawled in from the sea and hid under the rocks and ledges of the island to shed their shells and let their new ones grow hard and strong in hiding places in the dark. And the seals came barking down from the north to lie on the sunny rocks and raise their babies. And the kingfishers came from the south to build nests. And the gulls laid their eggs on the rocky ledge. What's a ledge called? It could also be called a cliff. And wild strawberries turned red. Summer had come to the little island. I see lots of pollinators and a full plant life cycle there. Boats sailed to the little island from far away, and herring and mackerel leapt out of the water, all silver in the moonlight. The seaweed squeaked at low tide, and little green pears grew on the pear tree. A black crow flew over. I heard lots of adjectives. What kind of pears? Little green pears. And what kind of crow? He was a black crow. And a little kitten came to the island with some people on a picnic. The kitten prowled around the island and saw that it was all surrounded by water. What a little land, said the kitten. This little island is as little as big is big. So are you, said the island. Maybe I am a little island too, said the kitten. A little fur island in the air, and he left the ground and jumped in the air. That is just what you are, said the little island. But I am part of this big world, said the little kitten. My feet are on it. So am I, said the little island. No, you're not, said the kitten. Water's all around you and cuts you off from the land. Ask any fish, said the island. So the kitten caught a fish. Answer me this, or I'll eat you up, said the kitten. How is an island part of the land? Come with me, said the fish, down into the dark, secret places of the sea, and I will show you. I can't swim, said the cat. Show me another way, or I'll eat you up. Then you must take it on faith what I tell you, said the fish. Well, what's that? Said the cat. Faith. To believe what I tell you about what you don't know, said the fish. So if the cat could swim and went deep down with the fish, do you think they would see an island floating on water like a donut or a beach ball or a raft? How is the island connected to other land? And the fish told the kitten how all land is one land under the sea. The cat's eyes were shining with the secret of it, and because he loved secrets, he believed, and he let go of the fish. And he got on his boat, and he sailed away into the setting sun. The little island had a little woods on it with 7 big trees in it and 17 small bushes and 1 big rock. Birds came to the woods on the island, and butterflies and moths flew over the ocean till they got there. Night came to the little island, dark and still, and 7 little fireflies flashed in the darkness. A bat flew around and around the pear tree and woke up the owl, and the wind whistled. Then came the storm. The wind blew from the southeast. Waves as big as glassy mountains came before it, and lightning and thunder, and always the howling, moaning, whistling wind. And then the storm passed and left the little island where it found it, in the summer sea. Autumn came, and the yellow pears dropped slowly to the ground. Winter came, and the snow fell softly, like a great quiet secret in the night, cold and still. Nights and days came and passed, and summer and winter, and the sun and the wind and the rain. And it was good to be a little island, a part of the world, and a world of its own, all surrounded by the bright blue sea. So if you guys took all the water and the oceans out of our globe when we look at it in school, I wish I had one here to show you, think about how all that ground still touches. So even deep under the water, there is land. Let me see if I can find a picture for you. What's under the ocean? Check that out. So here's an island, and here's its coastline where the water touches it. But underneath the ocean, there's still mountain ranges and deep valleys. So what's under the ocean? Long lines of high mountains called ranges and deep valleys just like those on land. Some of these mountains are so high that they stick out of the water. And that makes an island. Where the land meets the water is called the coastline. And all kinds of animals like fish and whales and dolphins and penguins live in and close to the ocean. So now we know a little more about an island. And I want you guys to keep exploring landforms around us or in anything you can find at your home. So I have this big book of maps at my home. It's called an atlas. And we don't use it very much anymore, but it's mine from when I was younger. And it's got lots of notes in it about all the places I've gone. But if I open it up to this, you guys see a map of the United States of America. And when I look at this map, I can see a gulf down near Florida. This is Florida. So I can see a gulf. That's where the ocean comes in and is surrounded on 3 sides by land. And I can also see a peninsula. Florida is a peninsula. That's land surrounded on 3 sides by ocean. If it was surrounded on all 4 sides, it would be an island. And way up here, I see all this water. Those are the Great Lakes, and they're right above us. Some of you guys have been to Lake Ontario. And this one doesn't have our lakes, but right around here, there would be a whole bunch of little lakes, and that's called a system of lakes, and that's our Finger Lakes. Let's see if I can find them. North, New York. This is in alphabetical order, so I have to do N. New York. It's a big book. That's the Adirondacks, and there it is. Okay, so here if I look on this map, up here is the Adirondacks, and then down here is us. And you see all these long blue lines? These are our lakes. So there's Seneca Lake, and next to it is Keuka, Canandaigua. All of our Finger Lakes are right in there. They split the page. I also see lots of rivers. In the Adirondacks, we can see lots of lakes and rivers. See all the blue? Don't look at the big blue and red. Those are roads. But the little blue, those are rivers and connect to lakes. So let's see. Do you guys think rivers end? I'm going to post a science project where you can see the beginning of a river. So rivers start up really high in the tops of the mountains. And then rivers move down, 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 down. So here's a river. And it moves into a lake, and eventually it comes out the river's mouth. So do rivers ever end? Most rivers end in the ocean or a lake, but then another river happens and it keeps going to the ocean. They start as tiny streams high up in the hills and mountains, and the streams flow downhill and combine to make a small river. These rivers often flow together to make one big, wide river. This big river continues to flow downhill until it reaches an ocean or a lake. Where a river flows into an ocean or a lake is called the mouth. So there's the mouth of the river. And it often deposits lots of dirt that it took with it, really healthy, good dirt that it took down through the mountain. So as you guys are building landforms, if we can get a hold of some sand or some dirt, I think we should fill our trays and make mountains and hills and valleys, and then let's let some water fall on it and see how many of those hills and valleys end up underwater, and if we can find some rivers and some lakes. when we put water on our landforms. Have a wonderful day and keep exploring landforms. Tell me which one you like building the best.